Welcome to ClearPathGPS Customer Convo. We're delighted to have Scott Ramsey, owner of Ramsey Asphalt Construction, with us today, and he'll be sharing with us how his business is using ClearPathGPS to improve his company's operations and their bottom line. Let's get started. Thanks again, Scott, for being with us
My pleasure.
today.
My pleasure.
We're so excited to get some of your insights on how you're using ClearPath. And before we dig in, absolutely share with us and the crowd here what Ramsey Asphalt is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started the company in '99. So we're coming up on 23 years, unbelievably. And now we've kind of come full circle into a mid-sized paving company, municipalities, small roadways, cities. City of Santa Barbara is one of our customers. County of Santa Barbara, homeowners associations. We don't get so much into when I say mid-size paving, we are exactly what I say, mid-size. Mm-hmm. We don't get into highway work like the big guys, the Granites of the world, and we don't really do so much residential, the small stuff. We're right in that mid-size class. We broke the 80 employee mark this year, so I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But it is what it is. And so yeah, I think we're including myself. We've got 82, 83 employees, something like that. And so yeah, that's kind of Ramsey Asphalt in a nutshell. Full service asphalt, concrete maintenance. All around. And we don't get. And the nice thing for me, because I do a lot of work for general contractors and they have so much going on. Fortunately for me, we're solely focused on one thing: site work, road work, and that's it. So we're able to really focus in on what we do and what we do best.
Well, and you focus, and obviously you do it well. I mean, you have
an
outstanding reputation here
in
the community. And
great, thank
I
you.
have to say that we drive around proud, and I see around town sometimes your trucks.
Oh yeah.
And I was just getting a big smile on my face.
Nice,
so
nice.
I know
absolutely.
You guys have a great reputation.
Yes.
So thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, before we dive in, when you talk about ClearPathGPS and the fleet tracking and how it's helping your business, I know that you were with another provider.
Sure.
Tell me a little bit about the experience.
Yeah.
And what led you to us.
So just by chance, I reached out to my cell phone provider at the time, and won't say names. Yeah, we won't say names, but there's you got 1 out of 3 shot. One out of 3 who it is.
Okay.
And initially they said, oh yeah, because I actually just called them for a referral. Mm-hmm. And they said, no, we can help you. We'll set you up, trackers, to explain to your shop guys how to hook them up to the trucks. And well, our cell phone provider service never worked from day one. And we never actually got it off the ground. And I don't even remember if we actually started tracking. And then so we reached back out to those guys and said, hey, this isn't working. And they put a booster in my office, and they said, hey, put this closest to the window where the trucks are driving in and out. Okay, we'll try that.
Was that huge? I like trying to
it's kind of like a CPU, like a little mini CPU. Yeah. And so that didn't work. Yeah. So they said, okay, well, we work with a subcontractor. And the subcontractor's back east in Charlotte or somewhere back east. And that was now it was semi-okay. At least it worked most of the time, to where I could actually see that this was kind of important. So then it got to the point, and I don't know what happened with the provider, but they got more and more and more unreliable. And sometimes I don't do my time cards until the next day. And then the next day I'm going back thinking and looking at it like, oh my God, truck 1 and 2 didn't register for 2 days. Oh, wow. So then I'm scrambling, I'm calling the superintendent saying, hey, I don't know when Jose got to the job, and then I'm in a panic. I feel myself just sweating. And so we would get a hold of the company and the time zone difference, and it was too much. It was too much. And then it got to the point where I kind of went to them and I kind of gave them an ultimatum, and I said, hey, we got to make this thing work flawless, or we're going to have to switch providers. And I think we were in some kind of contract, and I said, at this point, I see the value in it. I need something really reliable. So I think they could kind of tell I was getting frustrated, and I think they could tell that I needed this service more than what they could provide, or at a level more than they could provide. And one of my stipulations was, because I was so frustrated with the old provider, I wanted a local company to where if there was any issues at all, I could come in here and I could raise hell. And which audience, that's never happened. You guys have been great. And anytime there's ever been an issue or a tracker's not working, and I will say, upon initial setup, 90% of the issues we were having is, my guys weren't hooking them up right. I have a full-on shop and they weren't. Well, no, it's the green wire to the red wire and the blue wire to the yellow wire. Guys, can't you figure this out? And so once we got it all down pat, my shop's been, I think, I lose track of time.
Right.
But I would say, if I had to guess, I would say I've been with you guys for 5 years, 6 years. Do we know something?
It's a decent amount of time.
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. It's been years.
We've been with you as your business has been growing too.
Yeah.
So
Well, no.
yeah,
You look at that. Yeah, we
yeah,
came on.
yeah.
We came on board with you guys. We probably had 15, 17 employees, and here we are 5, 6 years later, and 80 something. So yeah, no, it's really been a crucial instrumental part of the growth of our company. It absolutely has.
Well, perfect segue into that. Why don't we dive in as far as ClearPath in general?
Yes.
How are you using it? I know we have a lot of use cases. We have customers doing different things all across the United States, thousands of businesses, but very similar challenges and issues that they're trying to solve, right? So
Sure.
You mentioned the time card buying, but reconciling time cards, but
Sure.
talk to us, from a operational standpoint, how are you using it day to day?
So initially, we just got the GPS with you guys. We just got it for time tracking, and which to this day we still use religiously, day to day. Without that, the guys wouldn't be getting paid. So that, plain and simple. And so, and then now we're actually using it from, the girls in my office are using it from an admin level, to where they can log into to ClearPath, and if a customer calls and let's say I have 3 jobs for one crew, the girls can look up, see exactly where the trucks are at any point in the day, and they can say, okay, well, they're in between Lompoc and Buellton. It looks like they're about 17 minutes away, and they can actually go in and they can put it on your GPS. They can put in the address of the destination, they can put where the truck is, and it'll calculate exactly how many minutes they are from the job. Call the customer back, hey, John Smith, the guys are 17 minutes and 30 seconds away, and sure enough, they arrive at the time. So from an admin perspective, it's really a helpful tool, keeping customers informed all the time, where the guys are, when they're gonna be there. Sorry, we're running late today, yada, yada. There's even been times where I'll get a call from a crew, something broke down, which, we're operating machines, things happen, it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so I'll get a hold of the girls in the office, hey Laura, can you call John Smith? Truck broke down, they're out on 246, but it helps to mitigate the issues that might come up throughout the day. And so it's been a fantastic tool in that aspect. And then another big way, which I think is even more important than the admin, is my shop. So now my shop is using the GPS, the ClearPath GPS, like crazy. Looking at if there's a breakdown, they can go on and it tracks miles. It gives the mileage of the vehicle. So if we have a breakdown on something, we can go back in and look at, and then we have another system, we have another piece of software where we can say, wait a second, we just fixed that at 87,000 miles. ClearPath is showing that we're at 88,000. We got 1,000 miles. We got 1,000 miles out of that repair. What happened? And so, that's one small fundamental thing. But the other big part of the way my shop is using it is, if we know there's some kind of an issue on a job with a truck, a piece of equipment, a piece of machinery, anything, the guys can look at where the truck is, the truck that's pulling the piece of equipment, and say, okay, we have 45 minutes before the truck arrives here. This truck and tractor have to go out tomorrow morning. We have to get parts here, a guy back here at the shop. It's going to be here in 45 minutes. make it happen. And so we're never left in the dark. We always know all the time where a piece is. And there's times where something breaks down on the side of the road. And we're calling the guy, hey, I can't get back to the yard. I got a flat tire. Something simple.
Right.
Where are you? I don't know. You know, that's a common thing that happens with employees. Where are you? Yeah, no, from those three aspects, and it just really, from the time tracking, and then there's also with the time tracking, we do prevailing wage jobs, certified payroll jobs, to where I need to know. I don't really necessarily care when the guys left the yard on those jobs, but I need to know when they arrived at the job. So it has the tracker to where I can pinpoint, okay, I see exactly when they got to the job, and it gives me a timestamp. They got to the job at 7:55, and then they left at 3:37, and it gives me exact timing. So, and it's the information it's a powerful tool. It is.
Well, it sounds really interesting in some of the use cases you brought up too, is really in respect to it minimizing or mitigating delays, right? Mm-hmm. Or be able to say, so can't do this job, and or has it helped you then take on more jobs too, because you are keeping your field, more out there?
I think the ClearPathGPS system in itself has made things smoother, and it's been an instrumental tool to upgrade our systems, and it just makes everything smoother. It just keeps the flow going. Yes.
And we hear that too with a lot of customers as far as like your tech stack goes, right? So that obviously there's not one tool that does it all, but we hear the use cases of our tool really be able to interact with a whole bunch of different things of data insights, whether it's billing, reconciling, things like that. So.
Yes, absolutely. And there is one thing and this is not something I mentioned when we talked on the phone the other day, but there is one thing to contractors, because my fellow contractors that are out there, or my fellow entrepreneurs that are out there, they're thinking, they're watching this right now thinking, oh my God, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for this. But it's so simple, because the way it's set up and the way we have it set up is we have these geogrids. Am I is that right? The geofence or geozone.
Yeah.
So now what happens is, to where a fellow contractor doesn't, and keep in mind, I've got 80 guys out there, and I know there's guys out there that have a lot more and they have a lot less than what I've got. There's no way for me to go and track. We came up with, we have 31 trackers out there. There's no way, there's not enough time in the day for me to track all these guys. So we have these geozones out there, geozone, sorry. And so all it is simply on my email, I get a ping when the truck leaves, and I get a ping when the truck comes back in. And so the only thing I have to keep track of is what guys are in what truck.
Right.
And as long, and with my big truck, my commercial guys, the same guys drive the same trucks. So that's easy. Truck 81, truck 61, truck 23. Those guys, Frankie's in this truck, Jose's in this truck, Augustine's, so that part's not a big issue. But I just have to simply keep track of the crew guys and which guys are on which truck. And usually 99 times out of 100, the same crews work together. So that even simplifies it even more. So either late in the afternoon or early in the morning, I just go through my email. As I'm checking emails from everybody else, I just go through and I look at the pings, and I just ping, and I just fill out the time card. Or I don't fill out a time card, I just fill out a daily for everybody, and it's done.
And you have the data right there to validate everything.
The data is right there, and it's quick, it's simple, and once you get into the system of it, it really is easy. It might be a little daunting. It may sound intimidating, but it's super simple.
Well, and that's what we find. What we hear all the time, right? The ease of use. So tell me that when tracking that time, you shared a little bit of stories of just from a business perspective, how employees that are no longer with your company have come back and said, you didn't pay me what I was supposed to be paid.
Sure,
so what's happened with that?
So, and that goes out, that's kind of me reaching out to my fellow contractors out there, and anybody out there that has employees. It's one of those situations where the state we live, and it's very much pro-employee, and I have no problem with that.
No.
I'm
Good
pro-employee.
protections.
I'm pro-employee, and I take care of my guys, and I treat all my people well. At least I try to treat everybody well. But it's a pretty common thing that a lot of us contractors run into. And I just say contractor because I live in my little bubble, but I'm sure everybody in every industry runs into it, even if you're not a contractor. But one common thing that contractors run into is when an employee decides to leave, no matter where they go, there's always a claim for wage and hour. And there's these attorneys out there that really hype up, and I've actually heard that attorneys have sent letters out to my current employees, because they'll bring them to me and say, hey Scott, what is this? This is from a law firm. This is from a law firm.
So they're baiting for customers.
They're baiting, yeah. You know, and I call them, they used to be called ambulance chasers. You know, I mean, yeah, they used to be called ambulance chasers, and now they have other words, which I could use some profanity, but you know, I won't go that far. However, we have had a couple cases where they come through and there are no merits to the case. There's not, but they just say, hey, Scott Ramsey, this guy worked for you for 3 years. He's claiming this and that. Just write us a check for $10,000 and we'll make it all go well.
Opportunistic.
Correct.
Right.
Cut us a check for $10,000 or $20,000 or $50,000 and we'll go away.
Wow.
And then I have to get my attorney involved, and we just say, okay, well, let's sit down and try to figure this out. And then first thing they ask for timesheets. Okay, no problem. And then they say, well, where's the time cards? Well, we don't have time cards. So what we do is we have gone in several times, and we've just printed out the entire log, because we can isolate it for that one truck.
Yeah.
So Steven drove the one truck, and we can print out 2 years worth of data,
right?
and it shows in and out time. And as long as that in and out time matches up with the daily, and it's happened twice, knock on wood, no more than twice, we've sent all this data in. Not a peep.
No, they got very quiet. Did you send them a bill for your time?
I should have. Yeah, I know. No, but it didn't take that much time. We just provide the data, and and we you know, and that's not to say that you know, it might happen differently next time, but in those couple instances, it went away on its own.
Paid for itself.
And absolutely, our monthly fees that we pay to you guys, I mean, it's that potentially.
Well, it's definitely not that much.
Well, no, absolutely not. It's very, very reasonable. Yeah. But I was gonna say, one of those claims could definitely pay for 5 years worth of GPS for you guys, easily.
Yeah. I mean, if not
more,
no.
Yeah.
Well, you talked about too, from a, you know, it's almost like a business protection, a little bit from, you know, just all the trucks out there and people driving, and we're always, you know, guilty as charged. Like we get distracted, right? So accidents happen, speeding incidents like that. How are you using ClearPath for that?
Initially, from a safety perspective, the first thing we did, we went right to ClearPath, pulled up, and we wanted to see, okay, what was happening? Was there erratic driving? You know, 2 minutes before, 5 minutes before, 10 minutes before. And like I said, on the when you isolate one individual vehicle, you isolate the day, and it'll track the whole day for you. Which you guys know all too well. I'm preaching to the choir here, but and so in this incident, or the accident we had, which thankfully there was no other vehicles involved, just our truck and a piece of equipment, and so I was able to look back and say, okay, what was the speed of the vehicle going? You know, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, you know, right up into the point of the impact. And it was actually, I had never seen it before, but it was kind of weird, because it was green, and then immediately it went red. I thought, wow, that was weird. Yeah, just in an instant. Right. Instant came to a stop, right on the 101 freeway. 101 freeway. So
I can picture it, right?
Yeah. No, it was, and so that helped us. To, and the driver is still employed with us, and he's a good guy. And it was just one of those things that.
But now you know what happened.
Well, it kind of corroborates the story a little bit as to, okay, this is what happened. You know, I coughed and took a drink of orange juice, and then this, you know, and then all the guys that were in the car, they all corroborated the story, and then the GPS kind of backs that up, and so it was, I mean, it wasn't. It didn't save lives in that instance, but it helped to paint a clearer picture for us.
What's going on, right?
Correct.
And if you layer dash cams, that brings up
I
a whole
know
other
that.
layer as
I
well,
know.
right?
I know. That's right. Maybe that's the next thing. I know.
That wasn't meant to be that. So I mean, these are all great stories, and I know that we could go on and on. But just in general, with ClearPath, and how has it? So you've never come into our office to give us hell, as you were talking about, right?
No,
which
no,
is good.
yeah.
But just in general, working with ClearPath, any advice to others? We have folks here that are considering us or working with other partners, that are like, we're not quite happy with who we're at. So any advice to those that are listening here? One
of my first and I mentioned it earlier on. One of my first stipulations was, because I had such a bad experience with the company back east, that I wanted a local company. Just because, so I could go in and see somebody face to face. Well, since that point, I've never had to come in and get angry or upset with anybody. But it has been convenient for me, being a local guy, and I'm going to get into, the guys that are out of the area. Right. I would encourage them to use ClearPath. But for me, it's been convenient. We buy a new truck. It's easy just to pop in. You guys don't have to mail it to me. Pop in, grab the tracker, and away I go. Now there's you guys, and this is the technical dumb side of me. I don't know how it all works. All I know is there sometimes are some glitches that happen, and a truck will go offline. And once we see it offline, then it's just a matter of a phone call to you guys. And 99 times out of 100, it's fixed within seconds.
Yep.
So for those guys, for those of you that are out of the area, don't let that be a deterrent as to using or not using ClearPath, because that's never been an issue. I mean, most of what you guys do, it can be done through Cyberworld or however it works. I don't know how it works, but
let's just say from a pure system standpoint, in our customer team, I mean, that's our goal and our culture, right? We're all about customer centric. That's what dives in as far as, helping out the customer. So thank you for that.
Yes.
And my gosh, thank you for all this information. I want to pick your brain more and more. We'll do that maybe offline and get some other information from you
Absolutely.
too. But honestly, this was amazing. I'm so glad that you were able to sit with us. We don't always have that opportunity here.
Sure.
And share a little bit about ClearPath and how you're using us. And we'll look forward to being your partner for many years.
Many years,
to come.
yes.
So
No,
next
I'm
time
a
we do
huge.
this, you're going to be double and triple.
Maybe,
the size,
yeah,
and
maybe.
You'll
more
gray
gray hair. That's right. That's right. That's right.
But I mean, just kudos to you.
Yeah.
The way that you've grown your business, and we're glad.
Thank you so much.
Be a part of
Yeah, no, a big part of it. Yeah, and it's all I can say is that. You guys. I'm sure the audience and the listeners out there and the viewers out there can tell that I'm a huge fan of you guys, and I'm honored that you guys called me to come in and talk and try to help promote you guys, because it's you guys are onto something great, and the reliability and it's really great. Yeah, I don't have enough good things to say.
Oh, I appreciate that. Now next time I'll just make sure you're wearing a ClearPath hat.
Yeah,
all set, right?
That's right. That's right.
No, thank you, and again, thank you for your time. We know how busy you are. Appreciate that, and thank you to everyone that has joined us today and watching our Customer Convo with Scott Ramsey with Asphalt Construction. We'll put your information out there. Make sure you get lots of promotion for this as well.
Excellent.
For your time today. And if anyone has any questions about ClearPath and how we can help your business as well, we're here for you. You know where to find us.
And if there was any, and I don't know if it's appropriate, but if anybody had any questions for me
do you
directly,
mind?
no, I don't mind at all.
Okay,
No,
awesome.
share my phone or email or whatever, and
Careful putting that out there.
I know,
Absolutely.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, any questions I can answer. I mean, a contractor might have a specific question,
that would be
and
awesome.
I'd be happy to answer it, and they hear it from somebody in the trenches.
Yeah.
They don't hear it from a ClearPath salesperson. They hear it from a guy that's using it, that relies upon it.
Well,
And I'm happy to answer any questions. Yeah.
We do have the best customers. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
Have a good one.